Adding chat features to your application can be way more complicated than it seems at first. You'll need a way to handle storage, notifications, concurrency. You'll need a user interface that's intuitive. It can get very expensive and very time-consuming to reinvent the wheel. My name is Kevin, and I'm a developer advocate for ChatKitty. We provide the easiest way to integrate chat features into your application. What I'm about to show you is how to use ChatKitty to add a chat to a Vue application in under 10 minutes. This is absolutely free for you to do as long as you're using it in one of your testing environments. If you want to use this in production, you'll need to upgrade to one of our paid tiers, because in the sandbox tier that I'm about to show you, we limit you to 25 concurrent users and 1,000 messages in total. So you'll need to upgrade if you want to use this in production. But the sandbox mode I'm about to show you will let you see if ChatKitty works for you, and it's absolutely free for you to use in your testing environments. So let's see how we can integrate ChatKitty into a Vue application to add a chat in under 10 minutes. So here I have WebStorm open, and the first thing I'm going to do is create a new project. I'm going to use Vue to generate the basic template. Let's call this project ChatKitty Vue. Now you can choose your preferred Node.js interpreter, and of course we're going to be doing this using Vue, and I'm going to use the TypeScript template. Vue asks some setup questions, and I'm going to use the default values. It looks like it compiled successfully, so this is the starting point of our Vue application. Before I begin, I'm just going to make sure that I can successfully start it from the command line. So I'm going to run npm install and then npm run dev. Now, this is something that sometimes happens when I create a new Vue template. Sometimes I just need to do a clean build to make sure everything works from the command line. So what I'm going to do is remove the node modules folder, remove the package lock.json file, and then I'm going to do another npm install. And now when I run npm run dev, you can see that it compiles without any errors. So now I can run it from the command line. So you can see that Vue created this default page for us, and the first thing we're going to do is get rid of these elements that we don't need. So let's go into the source folder and then open our app.vue file. And let's just get rid of all of the different elements that are just not part of this project. Now I'll add some hello world text just to make sure that the changes we're making are showing up on the web page. So as you can see, we've successfully gotten rid of all the elements we didn't need, and the hello world proves that our changes are in fact going through. So now let's actually add the chat to our Vue application. So what we're going to do is open a new tab and navigate to console.chatkitty.com. And you're probably going to have to create an account, but I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in with that. So here we can see a preview of the chat that we're going to add to our application. We can even try creating a room to see that it works. We kind of run into an issue in that there are no other users in this chat environment other than us, but this console allows us to create new users so that we can test it out. So let's make a new user named Billy Fred, and the display name is what shows up to other people, and the username is supposed to be unique. So let's just make Billy Fred all one word, and let's create this new user. In the console, we can see the user that we just created, and let's refresh the page so that we can also see this new user in the preview of our chat. So now if we try to create a room like we did before, we can see that the user we just created is available to chat with. So let's create a direct message channel with them and send a greeting message. It looks like the message went through successfully. So now that we know it works, how do we actually add this to our application? What we do is press the publish button. Now, if you want to use this in production, you're going to have to click the Ready for Production and purchase a higher tier. But you can test it in sandbox mode totally free. So I'm just going to copy the code sample, except for the opening script tag, just because our project is in TypeScript. So I just want to preserve the TypeScript tag. But other than that, I'm just copying the code sample that's given. And now, other than the opening script tag, I'm just going to paste everything else. So what you'll notice is that there's a certain library we don't have installed. It's called @chatkitty/vue. This is the library that lets us put the chat into our application. So what I'm going to do is run npm install @chatkitty/vue, and this will install it and also add it to our package.json file. As you can see, the error went away. So now let's choose which username we are signing in with. This is the username that we'll be logged in with when we put the chat on the screen. I think we're ready to try running it. So let's run npm run dev and see what comes up. So we're off to a good start. You can see that it's pretty much there, but there's some white space that we don't really want on the sides, on the bottom, and the top. This is because there's a default style sheet that's applied to our Vite template. So let's go to the styles.css file and let's scroll down to the styles that are being applied to our app component. And we're going to get rid of the max width so that it can span the entire width of the browser. We're just going to give that 100 VW. Now let's also change the height to be 100 SVH. The reason I'm doing SVH is just that so that on mobile, it takes into account the search bar that's at the bottom of iPhones. And let's set the margin to 0 and the padding to 0. And now let's see what we have. And there we go. The chat seems like it's spanning the full screen, and this is exactly what we wanted. So now we've successfully put the chat into our Vue application, and we can even see the message that we sent earlier to Billy Fred. We can create more rooms, we can edit our own profile, maybe change the profile picture, and all of the functionality we're looking for is here, and you can see that it's running on localhost. So there you go. There's an example of using ChatKitty to add a chat to a Vue application in less than 10 minutes. If you want to use this in production, you'll have to upgrade to one of our paid tiers, but this is absolutely free for you to use in your testing environments to see if it matches your use case. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions about ChatKitty, feel free to send us an email. I hope that integrating chat features works well in your organization and you're able to meet all your business objectives. Wishing you all the best and hope you have a good day.